right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Chilly change, the cooler air that's coming our way, how long it lasts, and where the ground might be white to start the weekend.
Finding solace.
I had so much hatred in my heart. I was so upset.
Tonight, the father of a beloved high school football coach is talking for the first time, just hours after a judge handed down a sentence to his son's killer. Our top story, jubilation turns to tragedy in Kansas City.
Yeah, shots fired on the west side.
Panic and confusion after shots rang out during the Chiefs' Super Bowl celebration.
Everyone started running out of the building, and you could hear people yelling, "Active shooter, active shooter."
Tonight, we're hearing from St. Louis fans caught in the chaos. Tonight, one woman is dead, nearly 24 more are injured, including 9 children. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Kansas City police tell us they have 3 people in custody. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski has been following this story all day and joins us now with new information. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, we are learning more about the woman who was killed. She was a local DJ and a mother of 2. Several of the other victims are still in critical condition tonight.
It was supposed to be a day of celebration as the Chiefs brought home the Super Bowl Lombardi Trophy for the 4th time.
But you know who came through in the end, that's the Kansas City Chiefs.
But just as the parade and rally were wrapping up, gunshots rang out on the west side of Union Station, sending people running for their lives. A Central Illinois man named Branton Beard was there with his friends in the middle of the chaos.
Me and my friends had actually planned on standing where the shots had taken place before we ended up on the hill, so it was just a major God moment that he was watching and helped us out of that situation, and we were thankful for that.
Nearly 24 people were sent to the hospital with gunshot wounds. A woman identified as Lisa Lopez Galvin by KKFI, the radio station where she worked as a DJ, died in surgery after being shot in the stomach. Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves says more than 800 law enforcement officers were there to protect people before, during, and after the parade and jumped into action immediately, taking 3 people into custody.
This tragedy occurred even in the presence of uniformed law enforcement officers who again ran towards them and took them into custody. To the people who were injured in this tragedy, our hearts go out to you and your families.
Even fans jumped into action. You can see in this video several people tackle someone in the crowd. Paul Contreras says he was one of those fans and actually stopped a person carrying a gun.
When I hit him from behind, I either jarred the gun out of his hand or out of his sleeve, because as I'm taking him down to the ground, I see the gun on the ground. So I take him down and I'm putting all my body weight on him.
Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas says he was there with his family, along with Missouri Governor Mike Parson. And while the mayor says they're safe, he is angered by the unthinkable.
I don't want us to have to, in our country, for every big event, think about a concern of being shot.
President Joe Biden said in a statement, "For this joy to be turned to tragedy today in Kansas City cuts deep in the American soul."
Missouri Governor Mike Parson and First Lady Teresa Parson were in Kansas City when the shots were fired, but were taken to a safe and secure location. Tonight, the governor's office released a statement saying Governor and First Lady Parson want to thank the Missouri Highway Patrol, KCPD, and their security officers for their quick and professional actions. St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones expressed her sympathy, saying in part, "My thoughts are with our fellow Missourians and all of those whose lives continue to be affected by gun violence." Stay with 5 on Your Side for the latest developments on this tragic story. We will bring them to you on air, on KSDK.com, and on the 5 on Your Side app.
Developing tonight, a 10-year-old boy is recovering after being shot in the leg in North St. Louis. This happened just a few hours ago near Elias Avenue and North Broadway in the Baden neighborhood. We are told the child was still breathing when he was taken to the hospital. We're making calls to get an updated condition. No word on what led to the shooting.
A 13-year-old Alton girl has died 10 days after she was shot in the head while standing on her front porch. Renaya Stewart died yesterday at a St. Louis hospital. Investigators say she was not the intended target. Just hours ago, prosecutors charged 2 more people in connection to her death. Vito Crowder and Dakota Perry, both 16, now face first-degree murder charges. 3 other men, Alvin Perry III, Rayshawn Colvin, and Keith Sanders, are also charged with first-degree murder. Tonight, St. Louis police say a Chicago woman and her daughter were killed in an overnight crash in downtown St. Louis.
It happened at 18th and Olive, just blocks away from Enterprise Center, where police say the victims had just left a concert. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend joins us live from that intersection. You have new reaction, Robert.
Kelly and Mike, people I talked to are angry and disappointed after hearing what happened to that 42-year-old Chicago woman and her 21-year-old daughter who were just visiting St. Louis. It was a horrific multi-car crash in the heart of downtown. St. Louis police say around 12:30 Wednesday morning, a man sped eastbound on Olive in a gray Jeep Cherokee, ran a red light, sideswiped an SUV, and caused that SUV to hit a Chicago woman and her daughter who were crossing the street. The impact threw the mom and her daughter onto the curb. The woman died at the scene. Her daughter passed away at a hospital.
Definitely thoughts and prayers.
Our hearts goes out to the family.
Denise Miles and Melissa Houston work just feet away from the busy intersection they call dangerous.
People do speed through here. People are getting killed out here, and this is not the first incident.
The police station is not even a block away, so that's sad.
Police say the male driver also T-boned a second SUV. He and 3 other innocent people were taken to a hospital. Again, the crash happened just minutes after the Chicago mother, daughter, and thousands of others were leaving the Drake and J. Cole concert at Enterprise Center.
The tragedy, the impact that it happens, it lasts for years.
Cindy Mintz is the chief executive officer of TrailNet. For the past 35 years, the nonprofit has advocated for safe streets for pedestrians, bikers, and drivers in the St. Louis area. The group's office is just down the street from the downtown intersection where nearly a year ago, 17-year-old Janae Edmondson lost both of her legs after police say a driver failed to yield and collided with another car. The Tennessee teen was in town for a volleyball tournament.
It's tragic for the city, for the family that's impacted.
That driver of the Jeep is in critical condition tonight. He has not been charged. We're live downtown. I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on your side.
New tonight, the Washington County, Missouri prosecutor is under investigation after a crash that happened last summer. Police documents obtained by 5 on your side say prosecutor John Jones IV crashed into a cross outside of a building in Washington County in July. The documents say Jones called a deputy on his personal cell phone to say he hit the cross, drove into a ditch, and was stuck. The responding deputy said Jones's breath smelled like alcohol and he had slurred speech and bloodshot eyes. He also said he found a nearly empty bottle of rum under the driver's seat. But he says he didn't apply for DWI charges or do a field sobriety test because he felt intimidated. 5 on your side normally doesn't name people until they are charged with a crime, but is doing so in this case because Jones is an elected public official with the sheriff of Washington County, confirms there is an investigation, and he's asked for the help of the Missouri Attorney General. Now, you can read more details of this developing story on our website, and just look for Christine Byer's story under the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
The man who pleaded guilty in the killing of a high school football coach is headed to prison for the next 60 years. A judge handed down that sentence to Kurt Wallace today. He admitted to shooting DeSmet coach Jazz Granderson during a string of carjackings in 2017. Wallace escaped from jail in 2019 and led police on a chase before crashing a stolen car. And right after the sentence, we sat down with Jazz Granderson's dad. Johnny Granderson is breaking his 6-year silence after a journey through grief and finding the power in forgiveness.
I can honestly say 6 years ago, I had a lot of hate in my heart.
For the first time since the violent carjacking that claimed Jazz Granderson's life, his father, Johnny Granderson, breaks his silence, sharing the raw truth of his journey to find solace amidst the unfathomable loss of his son.
I was so upset, and I was going through some things, and all I can say is that time helped me move on and put me in the place that I'm in now.
Jazz Granderson was a former football standout at Kirkwood High School who went on to play at the University of Northern Iowa and Lindenwood University. As an assistant coach at DeSmet, he was known as a mentor, and hundreds attended his funeral. Years ago, he started a Christmas drive that distributed toys to hundreds of children, a drive that continues to this day.
If someone was to hear his name, just to say he always helped the youth in the community. That's what I want his legacy to be, and that's why I'm still doing what I have to do to keep his legacy going.
Despite the pain of his loss, Johnny Granderson finds solace in the knowledge that he is finding a path to healing.
And over the years, got me to the place that I am now. And
is it a place of forgiveness?
It is. It is. It is. I just hate that it took them to take my son's life to put me in the situation that I'm in now.
The sentence for the shooter was 60 years. Johnny Granderson thought it should have been life.
Tonight, the community of Bridgeton is mourning the loss of its mayor. City officials say Mayor Terry Briggs passed away unexpectedly today. He first took office in 2015 and was re-elected in 2019. A cause of death has not been released. Funeral arrangements are pending.